What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Carson. It has been a minute since I've posted any type of YouTube content to you guys, and that hasn't been from a lack of desire, but more so just a lack of time being down here at OU doing school. If I had to give you a quick life update on me, life is crazy, life is busy with school and whatnot. I'm heavily involved in a Christian group on campus, which I love, devote a lot of time to what we do here. But overall, I just say I am busy, but I am abundantly blessed. I feel highly favored. God has been so good to me, transforming my life in some amazing ways. But we are going to dive into the content. That is enough about me already. What we are doing today is I'm going to be ranking all the songs from last to first in Morgan Wallen's new album, One Thing at a Time. It's kind of a daunting task because there's 36 songs in this album. It took me a long time to put this list together in the first place. So in order to make this video not like 2 hours, I'm going to briefly talk about each song, maybe spend a little bit more time on the songs that I like. So my initial thoughts on the album is, whoa, 36 songs. That's a lot. That's like 3 albums in one. A lot of people aren't particularly fond of the 36 songs or the style of giant albums as opposed to like a 12-song album. I'm in the boat of, the more songs, the merrier, in my opinion, because it gives me more songs to choose from that I might like or dislike, or I have a better chance of liking more songs on the album. That's just my take on it. Some people don't agree with these giant albums, but I'm all for them. But yeah, I'm a Morgan Wallen fan. I love the album. I think it's really good. In comparison to the Dangerous album, I don't know how I will rank it up yet. I think time will tell. I think it has a chance to be better than the Dangerous album. Statistically, right now, it's doing better than the Dangerous album. But in my own heart, how much I like it, I think it has a chance to be better than Dangerous album, and I love the Dangerous album. But with all that being said, those are my initial thoughts. I like the album. It's really big. I say the more the merrier. But let's dive into the ranking of the songs. At 36, this is coming in last place on the album. We have Good Girl Gone Missing. Good girl, gone missing. The reason this one's coming in at the end for me is, honestly, it's a super sad song. If you want to be sad, go give it a listen. I particularly don't want to be sad, and this one is just not really my style. It's a solid heartbreak song for sure. It's kind of repetitive in my opinion, and none of the lyrics really hit home for me. So that's why I have it at 36. Not going to spend too much time on it. At number 35, we have Had It. Yeah, I knew what I had when I had it, but girl, I've had it. I'll read you a lyric from the song. It's, he knew what he had when he had it, but he's had it. The only thing I know about this song is that my man in the relationship, he's had it. He's had it. It's kind of repetitive. I like the concept, my man's had it. He knew what he had when he had it, but he's had it. Yeah, kind of repetitive, whatever. It's a good song. But it's definitely bottom tier on the album for me. Number 34, we have Days That End in Why. Again, we have another heartbreak song here in Days That End in Why. I'm not against the heartbreak songs. I mess with some heartbreak songs. Some can be really good. But honestly, this one, the chorus doesn't really jam for me. I think it's a little wordy. I do think some of the lyrics are really good, but none of them really hit home for me. So that's why this one's coming in at 34. So for number 33, this might be a hot take, but we got Cowgirls featuring Ernest. I don't typically love the rappy style country songs, and in this one, Morgan and some other songs on the album, he experiments with a more rap, hip-hop style country song. Not my favorite. I love Ernest. I think he's awesome. I think he's definitely an up-and-coming artist, and I like his feature on the song, but I don't know, this one doesn't really go anywhere. There's not much of a story behind it for me that really hits home for me. So this one's coming in at 33. I think it's a good song. It's got a little rhythm to it. I see how other people could really like it, but for me, I don't love it. Coming in at number 32, we have Sunrise. Again, we got another rappy style country song. I like the idea behind the song. You're my sunrise, you keep coming up. Yeah, it's good, whatever. But it's got a nice bop to it, but it's not my traditional style country song that I love. So that's why I got it at 32. Number 31, we have Ain't That Some. Ain't that some back home, buddies in the field, mud on the wheel. Again, you'll see the rappy style country songs, the theme of them ending more towards the end of the album ranking for me, just because I don't love them. I think the lyrics in this one are the best in comparison to Cowgirls and Sunrise. I think this one, the lyrics flow really well, but again, not my style. I love a more traditional style country song. Number 30, Me to Me.
Kinda sounds like me to
I like this song. I think it's fun. I think it's upbeat. I think the lyrics flow really well, and I think it's pretty clever what the story behind the song is. It's a guy or a girl describing what she wants in a guy, and then Morgan's like, oh, that sounds like me to me. And I think that's pretty clever, but there's not a ton of story behind it. It's just kind of repetitive, that same thing going over and over again. It's a good song, just not my favorite. Coming in at number 29, F-150-50.
Night is looking F-150-50.
I think this is a really unique song. I think it's interesting. I think it's kind of cheesy, but it really does have some great play on words, as whoever wrote this song is describing how a girl is driving off in her F-150, leaving her boyfriend or whatever behind, and he's saying it's 50-50 whether she misses him or whether she doesn't miss him. And it's some of the words in the song goes, it's headlights, bleh. Wow, that's kind of a tongue twister there. Heads, it's headlights, heading home. Nice play on words. Tails, it's tail lights, tailing off. Nice. And then, of course, tonight it's looking F-150-50. 50-50 whether she misses him or not. Cool, clever song, kind of cheesy, but yeah, decent. Coming in at number 28, we got Thinking About Me.
What he's drinking, are you thinking about me? Do you have
In this song, Morgan is describing how he hopes his ex-girl is always thinking about him in her next relationship. And I can totally see how some people would love this song. They would really resonate with this song. And it actually shows on the charts this song is kind of popping off right now. It's doing really well. But for me, it doesn't really resonate with me. It's kind of got like a malicious-y style revenge vibe to it. And I'm not really about that. That doesn't really hit home for me. I think it's definitely a breakup song if you hate the person you break up with, but this one just didn't, I don't know, it's just kind of malicious, didn't resonate with me. Maybe malicious isn't the right word, just kind of cold. Number 27, we have Me plus All Your Reasons.
got me and all your reasons?
I like the idea behind this song. Morgan says, I know you think you left me all alone, but you couldn't be more wrong. And then he goes on to list the things that he still has left in his life besides himself. He's like, oh, I got Copenhagen, I got whiskey, empty bottles, promise breaking. He's got all the reasons why she left him to keep him company. And it's kind of it's definitely a sadder song, but I don't know. Not my favorite song on the album. I think the idea behind it's cool, just I don't love it. Number 26, I think this is a great song, Born with a Beer in My Hand.
Hell, I was born with a beer in my hand.
Yes, I do think this is a great song, but there's so many good songs on this album. That's why this one has landed on the latter half of the album. I do like the story here. He describes how alcohol has been nothing but hangovers, handcuffs, and scars throughout his life. And then he goes on to describe how he's trying to get sober. He's trying to stop drinking, but he's fighting this war because it's almost inevitable from his upbringing that he's had a beer in his hand since he's been born, pretty much, is what he's saying, just based off of his culture and his upbringing. So it's hard for him to stop drinking. I like the story, but it doesn't jam. That's why it's landing towards the later half of the album. Next up, we got 25, Whiskey Friends.
Won't you play a little Whitley for me and my whiskey friend?
This song, it's fun to sing along with. I enjoy some of the lyrics, but there's not much of a story behind this one. One of the lyrics that I do like, it's just me, Jack, and Jim. Won't you play a little Whitley for me and my whiskey friends? I think it's good. It's clever. Me, Jack, and Jim are his whiskey friends. It's cool. There's just no story behind it. I think it's a good song to sing along with. It's decent. That's why it's landing on the second half of the album for me. Number 24, we got Tennessee Fan.
I got the number one pick, blonde hair, red lips, brought her
I really like the story behind this one. It's how Bama is always beating Tennessee in football, but Tennessee actually beat them this year. But Bama's always beating Tennessee in football, but he's like, actually, I really did win because that night after the game, I picked up myself a Bama girl. The Tennessee boy picked up a Bama girl. He got the number one overall pick, he says. So I think the story's cool. It's very clever. I don't really connect with this one, can't really relate to it, and I think that's why it ends near the second half of my list. Number 23, we have Dying Man.
and gave one good reason to live till it said on dying man.
This one's actually a pretty good love song. It's kind of ironic with the title. It says Dying Man, but you see through the lyrics, he's describing how codeine got Elvis, he says, and then whiskey got Hank, and he's like, oh, I thought something like that would always send me on my way, that I was going to die, something like that. But then he met a girl, and this girl gave him a reason to live, and now he's no longer a dying man, but he's got purpose because he met this girl. Cool little storyline there. I don't know how much I love it, but it's pretty good. Number 22, this might be a hot take because it features Hardy, which I love Hardy, but it's in the Bible.
If being country was in the Bible,
I like the idea behind the song a lot. They're describing Wallen and Hardy about how they are so country, and if being country was in the Bible, how they would be set just because they're so country. Some of the lyrics go like this: if John Deere Green was 3:16, so in reference to John 3:16 in the Bible. And one of my other favorite lyrics is, if them words in red, in reference to Jesus' word in the Bible, were a little bit more red, as in reading, this sinner would be a saint instead. I think some of the lyrics are very clever, but I don't love the harmonies between Wallen and Hardy in this song, and I think that's why it lands in the second half of my list. Number 21, Wine into Water.
turn this wine into water under the bridge.
This is a good story of a couple. They're turning all of their problems that they have in their relationship into water under the bridge through a night of wine. Great lyrics. It's kind of wordy because the lyrics are so good, but I'm always a fan of good lyrics. It lands kind of lower on my list because I don't really jive with this idea of turning all your problems into water under the bridge through some wine. To me, that kind of just sounds like a recipe for disaster in the future because those problems are going to keep coming back up, but whatever. Coming in at number 20, we have Last Drive Down Main.
Taking one last drive down Main.
In this song, Morgan's describing how he's heartbroken, and I think he lived in the same hometown as his girl, and he's like, I got to get out of this place, so I'm taking my last drive down Main. It's an upbeat song, and Morgan really sings hard. That's one part of this song that I like it. It's really upbeat and fun. And I can see how this could totally land on someone's list way higher than number 20. But for me, I'm more of a fan of like smooth, lyrical songs. And this one, it goes hard, which I like, but I'm more of a fan of like smooth lyrical songs. That's why I got it in the later half. Coming in at 19, we have Outlook.
Now my outlook on life.
I like the idea behind the song that Wallen's outlook on life has changed, and I think there's some good, clever play on words to some degree, if you want to call it that. He says, my outlook is someone's up there looking down and looking out for me. I think it's good. The lyrics flow really well, and I think Wallen really drives home that one where he's like, now my out. I like that part. I really do. And yeah, good song. Number 18, this is actually a super popular song, just not one of my favorites. It's You Proof.
It's something you prove.
Again, this is one of your classic breakup songs. I think it is very clever, the idea behind it, that he's trying to drown out the memory of this girl with some alcohol, but nothing's cutting it. He needs something you-proof, which obviously proof is something you describe the strength of alcohol, and he needs something really stronger than the girl he broke up with, which I like the idea behind the story, but it's not one of my faves, so it lands in about the middle for me. Number 17, we have Neon Star. You're seeing more and more of these lullaby-type country songs popping out in new country music. It's got a unique little groove, kind of fun, but the song doesn't really go anywhere. It's just kind of like a bop, not much of a story behind it, and because of that, it lands at number 17. Number 16, we got 180.
She don't come from it, but now she ain't running from it. Yeah, she loving the lifestyle.
This one is my favorite out of all like the 4 rappy style country songs on the album. We had Cowgirls, Sunrise, Ain't That Some, and now we got 180. This one I actually really like. I think the chorus flows really smooth, and overall the song just kind of goes hard. It grabbed my attention while I was doing some homework, and it was like, she don't come from it, but now she ain't running from it. Yeah, she loving the... It just kind of flows really well. I like it. Number 16. Moving on to number 15, I like this song because I love classic country music. You might not like this song at all, but I love it. It's Keith Whitley.
When he's loving on you, baby, you don't close your eyes.
Again, I love old classic country music, and I think that's why I'm so fond of this song. And I do enjoy some Keith Whitley. He's an old country artist. And one thing I love about this song, Keith Whitley, I got to break this down for you guys real quick. Keith Whitley has a song called Don't Close Your Eyes. And in the song, he's describing how he's in a relationship with this girl, and he doesn't want this girl fantasizing about her past relationship while she's with him. So say they're kissing or whatever. He says, don't close your eyes because I want you focused on me, not fantasizing on your old relationship. But then Morgan takes that and talks about his heartbreak, how his girl has left him, and she's not closing her eyes in her new relationship with this guy, so she's not fantasizing about Morgan, and that's heartbreaking for Morgan Wallen. And I love how he ties in a bunch of old Keith Whitley song titles like I'm No Stranger to the Rain, When You Say Nothing at All, Don't Close Your Eyes, of course, and Miami, Miami. There's some other ones, but I do really like this song. Number 14, this might be a really hot take because this is everyone's favorite song. It's just not mine. It's Last Night. This song, it does get a little head nod going for sure. It goes hard. It's a bop. It's very catchy. And it's got a little of that hip-hop style intertwined with the country music style, which a lot of people love that. It's just not my style. I could totally see why this is like number one on Billards or Billboards, whatever they want to call it, on the charts at least, but it's just not my style. Number 13, I love the story behind this song. It's Money on Me. I love the story behind the song because it's so unique. You get this sound at the beginning like, and just throughout the song, it's like so soft and subtle and like a lovey-dovey type song. And throughout the song, the girl is like describing the perfect guy, or Morgan is even describing the perfect guy. He's like, oh, do you want the right guy at the right time? Dogs come meet him at the door every night, a soft place to land, arms you can trust and hold. And it's like, oh, all these things that a man you're looking for in a man, this beautiful love story. But then at the end, he's like, I'm not a betting man, but I wouldn't put my money on me that I would be that type of man for you. I just think that's so funny. It's kind of contrary to most songs. Most songs are like, oh, I'm that man for you. I'm that man. He's like, nah, that's that type of man, and I'm not putting my money that I'm going to be that guy for you. I think it's very unique. Number 12, I Wrote the Book. With the idea behind the song, it just got me thinking, like, there's so many songs out there. I'm like, how could you write another song about something else with a unique style to it? And I think this song like really accomplishes that. It describes how this guy is good at everything and this girl loves that he's good at everything, but he's not good at the most important thing, which is picking up his Bible and being a good guy. And I think it's just, yeah, it's a cool little story, and I think it's very catchy. It's good. I like it a lot. Number 11, we have Tennessee Numbers.
She quit taking calls from Tennessee Numbers.
Tennessee Numbers, this is written by the same person, or at least they collaborated with this one, and the song on Morgan's Dangerous album, 865, is all on this idea of Tennessee area codes. And in this one, he describes how his ex-girl's gone, and he just wants to win her back, and he wants to call her up and tell her, oh, I'm so sorry, I still love you, I messed up. And there's a lot of emotion in this song, but then at the end, he's like, but she doesn't pick up phone calls from Tennessee Numbers anymore, so I have no chance to win her back. And it's kind of a sad song, kind of a love song. I like it a lot. Cool story behind it, and yeah. Finally, we made it to the top 10. And coming in at number 10, I think this one, the only reason this is coming in at 10, I think it would be higher on my list, is just because it's been out for a while now and it doesn't have that like new like hype behind it. I think it's an amazing song. It's Don't Thank Jesus. I love the idea behind the song. I love it. It's a great story with so much passion and so much emotion. And Morgan sings it with so much emotion. He really does. It describes his road to fame and how it's just been plagued with sin, drunkenness, and girls and stuff like that. And he goes, and he's talking about, you know, my upbringing in the church is saying like, I'm not supposed to do it this way. And I know morally that I'm not supposed to do it this way. And he's like, I would shame me. I would blame me. I don't deserve forgiveness for all this sin that I've been committing in my road to fame. But then he's like, but I don't think Jesus does it that way. And I think it is really a good picture of the gospel, how, you know, we are broken people and we do not deserve forgiveness for all the sins that we commit. But Jesus doesn't do it that way. He is always running towards us with open arms, and he wants to love us and forgive us. And I love that song because of it. It's really just beautiful. Coming in at number 9, Hope That's True. I think this one is so clever.
I hope that's true.
This is a fire, I don't care about you type of breakup song, like screw you type breakup song to some degree. He goes on to describe how I loved you for a little, but we dang sure different is what he says after the breakup. And he's like, you know, I'm not trying to say that I hate every single little thing that you did in our relationship. You know, I did love you for a while. But when you say that I'm not going to have anything ever like you again, he goes, I hope that's true. And I think that's so clever. He's like, I did like you a little, but we are really different. I don't love you that much, and I don't want anybody like you. I want somebody different. I want somebody better, and I think it's so clever. Coming in at number 8, this one is a killer. It's Devil Don't Know.
Girl, even the devil don't know this kind of hell.
Again, this is a killer, sad, heartbreak song. I think this is like kind of what up on the ranks of all the heartbreak songs on this album. This is my favorite one. There are some beautiful parallels in the lyrics. Let me read it to you. What's keeping me up all night is knowing what's keeping you up all night. And since I ain't the one holding on to you, I'm holding on for dear life. I think that is so beautiful. And then he goes on to describe just this idea of how he's just experiencing hell from this breakup, I guess. And he goes, the devil he doesn't even know this type of hell that I'm experiencing. He says, fire and brimstone ain't got nothing on seeing you with someone else. It's a whole nother level. Even the devil don't know this kind of hell. I think the lyrics behind the song are awesome, and I think they're very true. It's just a killer heartbreak song for sure, and lyrically beautiful. Coming in at number 7, I personally love this song. You might not love it, but I love it. I think it's so fun and catchy. It's Single Than She Was.
But I tell you what, she's a little more single than she was.
I really like the story behind this one. A guy goes into a bar, sees a girl. Apparently she's taken, but by the end of the night, Morgan is flirting it up with her. They're dancing by the stage and whatever. They're having a great night. And the premise of the song is, by the end of the night, I got her name, I got her phone number. And I'm not saying that her relationship with whatever guy that she's supposed to be with is over, but she's a lot more single than she was when she came in here tonight. And I think it's a fun song. Number 6, I Deserve a Drink.
You're burning hotter than a bourbon with no water.
I really do. I love this one because Morgan, or whoever wrote the song, paints his desire to give in to the temptation of going back to his ex-girlfriend through the lens of drinking. And I love just the changes of tempo in this song, and there's so much emotion in it. It's just beautifully put together and lyrically really good. One of my favorite lyrics is, "'Cause you're burning hotter than a bourbon with no water, and I want your buzz in my veins." Again, you see this parallel between drinking and he wants to be back with his girl. He wants this buzz of his ex-girl in his veins. "Girl, in the morning, you'll walk out the door, and I'll pour us back down the sink like whiskey or whatever, but tonight I deserve a drink." And I just think it's a beautiful little crossover between drinking and this temptation to go back to his ex-girl. I think it's beautifully done. Coming in at number 5, we've hit the top 5. It is 98 Braves.
If we were a team and love was a game, then we'd have been the 98 Braves.
Simple enough. I just love the story behind this one. I love sports, and I love a good love song, and it crossed them over together, this comparison between sports and relationships. It describes how this team, the 98 Braves, were so close to winning the World Series, and they thought they had it. They were swinging for the fences, Morgan says in the song, just like he was swinging for the fences in this relationship with his girl. But the 98 Braves, they lost in the World Series. They came so close, and he draws this parallel to his relationship with this girl. Like, they thought they had it all. They were swinging for the fences, but they came up short. And so one of the lyrics that I love from this song is, "But just like that season, girl, you and me didn't end with a ring on a hand." Just like if the 98 Braves would have won, they'd have got that World Series ring. And just like if the guy would have technically won in his relationship, he would have put a ring on his girl's finger. But they came so close, but it wasn't close enough. Coming in at number 4, One Thing at a Time.
I hate to tell you, girl, but I'm only quitting one thing at a time.
One, I think the idea behind the song is pretty awesome. He's trying to get over a girl, but he can't get over all of his vices at the same time while he's trying to get over a girl. And he's like, let me get over you. I'll fix my drinking problem or whatever problem afterwards. I'm only fixing one thing at a time. But overall, I like the story. But what really I love about this song is you can't just like not sing along with it. It's so just fun. And I really love the electric guitar. I think it sounds awesome in this song. So try to sing this one and not sing along and tell me that it's not in your top 5. Number 3, Man Made a Bar.
God made the world 7 short days. Said it was good. I bet it was great.
This is your classic heartbroken guy goes into a bar song, but it's so unique and different in the way that it describes it through the lens of creation, how God made a guy and then God got lonely, so God made a girl his best work of art, and they were going to live in perfect unison and whatnot, and obviously the fall, and the song isn't theologically perfectly correct by any means. I'm no theologian either, but I love how it describes it through the lens of creation. And it says, God didn't make a place for me to go when the girl, his beautiful work of art, breaks my heart. And he's like, well, we made a bar. I think what really makes this song, though, is Eric Church's feature in it. I think Eric Church's sounds awesome in this song, and that's why I love it. And I love the guitar in this one, especially towards the beginning as well. Coming in at number 2, it's Thought You Should Know. This song has been out for a while now. I think it was released on Mother's Day like last year or something. But this one still just hasn't gone away from me. I love this song. It's Morgan. He's calling up his mom, describing how all the prayers that she's been praying for him for so long, they're starting to really pay off, and that his life is kind of turning around. And he's just like thankful to God, it seems like, and thankful to his mom, and he's describing just this love for his mom here. I love the story, and there's so much emotion and passion in Morgan's voice as he's singing the song that I think I really resonate with. And all of us, I love my mom, and I really resonate with this song because of it. And I'd say this one's just easy to sing along with. It's got a great chorus, and I just jam with this one. And then coming in at number 1, The Moment of Truth. If you've been keeping tally, you know what song it is, but it is Everything I Love. It's simple enough. This song just rocks. It's so country. I think this is the most, besides In the Bible, this is like the most country song on the album when it comes to lyrics. And it just goes hard. It just rocks. It's lyrically smooth and goes hard at the same exact time. I love it. Love the story behind it of a guy. He's like, man, I wish I didn't do every single thing that I love with this girl that he's now broken up with or whatever, because he can't do the things he loves without thinking about her anymore. So it's like almost ruined the things that he's loved. And one of the metaphors that he draws in the song is about fishing, and the lyrics go like this: I don't care how much they're biting, I won't even crank the boat. Soon as that bobber hits the water, girl, your memory starts to float. Overall, I think the lyrics in this one are awesome. Again, I think it's lyrically so smooth at the same time while being so catchy and like rocks hard, and I love it. My number 1 seems to be shifting and changing every day. So right now, Everything I Love is my number 1. It changes by the day. Those top 5, those top 10 even, interchange with one another. But this is how I was feeling today. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. And that will conclude the ranking of Morgan Wallen's new album, One Thing at a Time. I hope you guys really enjoyed this one. It's something I've never done on my channel before, and I may start doing more of. I know Luke Combs is actually releasing a brand new album on Friday, which I'll have to do a same podcast video type on, ranking those songs. And also, I'm going to Cody Johnson's concert this Friday as well. That's going to be awesome. But yes, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this type of content, new, different style. I love country music. Maybe I can do more of this type of stuff on the channel. If you guys liked my list, let me know in the comments down below. If you didn't like my list, let me know as well. Give me your list down in the comments below as well. So with all that being said, that concludes the rest of our video. Again, I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you made it all the way to the end, you're a real one, and I love you guys. Peace.